In the grand theatre of history, empires rise and fall, leaving behind a trail of questions. Today, we embark on a journey to unravel the downfall of mighty empires. Our world is a vast tapestry woven from the threads of time, each strand telling the story of civilizations that have come and gone. Among the mysteries that these strands reveal, one stands out, perplexing and intriguing. The paradox of technologically advanced civilizations succumbing to supposedly inferior enemies. Imagine towering empires, their prowess and grandeur spanning continents, their armies equipped with the finest weapons of their age. Imagine their architects crafting cities that touch the sky, their philosophers pondering the mysteries of the universe. Yet these behemoths of civilization, despite their technological superiority, have often crumbled before their seemingly less advanced adversaries. How is it that Rome, with its legions and fortifications, was outmaneuvered at Cannae? How did the Byzantine Empire, with its formidable walls and war machines, falter at Adrianople? How did the English, with their long bows and armour, succumb to a peasant girl at Orléans? These questions lead us to wonder, is technology alone enough to secure victory? Or are there other factors at play, invisible threads that weave the pattern of rise and fall? Could it be that strategy, leadership, morale, geography, or even sheer luck play equally, if not more, significant roles in the fate of empires? As we delve into the annals of history, we will explore the battles that shaped the fate of empires. From Rome's folly to Byzantium's last stand, from Joan's triumph to the echoes of colonial struggles, we will journey through time, piecing together the ancient puzzle. Along the way, we will discover that the demise of these mighty empires was not just a result of military defeat, but a complex interplay of numerous factors. Our journey begins with Rome, the city of the Seven Hills, a beacon of civilization whose light was extinguished in the Battle of Cannae. Let us step back into the past, into a time of glory and despair, and witness the first chapter of the downfall of empires. The Roman Republic, a beacon of civilization, was not immune to the cruel twist of fate. Let's revisit the Battle of Cannae, where Rome's might met Hannibal's cunning. In the year 216 before the Common Era, the Roman Republic, in all its grandeur and might, faced a significant test. The Battle of Cannae, a landmark in the annals of military history, saw the Roman legions face off against the forces of Carthage, led by the brilliant strategist Hannibal. Hannibal, a name that would forever echo in the annals of Rome, had a knack for turning the seemingly impossible into reality. The Carthaginian general, known for his audacious crossing of the Alps, devised a tactical masterpiece at Cannae. He employed the double envelopment strategy, a maneuver that encircled the superior Roman forces, trapping them in a vice-like grip from which there was no escape. The Romans, in their hubris, had walked right into Hannibal's trap. The Roman legions, a force known for their discipline and prowess in battle, were led that fateful day by two consuls, Lucius Aemilius Paulus and Gaius Terentius Varro. The Roman strategy, grounded in brute force and the sheer weight of numbers, was undone by Hannibal's cunning and innovative tactics. Rome's defeat at Cannae sent shockwaves through the Republic. The loss of an estimated 50 to 70,000 Roman soldiers in a single day of battle was a catastrophe of unprecedented scale. The Battle of Cannae was a stark reminder that even the greatest of empires could be brought to their knees. In the aftermath, the geopolitical landscape shifted. Carthage, for a time, stood triumphant. Yet, Rome's resilience in the face of adversity would eventually turn the tide of the Second Punic War in their favour. Hannibal's victory at Cannae, while significant, was a fleeting triumph. In the face of adversity, even the mightiest can crumble. But Rome was not alone. Even the most technologically advanced and disciplined forces can be undone by superior strategy and leadership. The Battle of Cannae serves as a timeless reminder of this fact, a fact that echoes through the ages, resonating in the downfall of empires. The Byzantine Empire, steeped in grandeur, faced its nemesis at the Battle of Adrianople. A beacon of civilization and repository of ancient knowledge, the Byzantine Empire had been a force to reckon with for centuries. But the seemingly invincible fortress of Byzantium was beginning to crumble from within. Internal strife, religious controversies, and the relentless pressure from encroaching enemies were all eating away at the empire's foundations. By the time of the Battle of Adrianople in the late 4th century, the Eastern Roman Empire was on the brink. The Visigoths, initially allies of the empire but later turned adversaries, were ready to exploit these vulnerabilities. They had been honing their battle strategies, training their warriors, and waiting for the right moment to strike. And strike they did at Adrianople. The Byzantine forces, confident in their technological prowess, marched into battle expecting an easy victory. But the Visigoths had a surprise in store. They unleashed a cavalry charge that was both unexpected and devastating. The Byzantine forces, despite their superior weaponry and tactics, were caught off guard. The Visigoths, with their strategic brilliance, had managed to turn the tide of the battle in their favour. The aftermath was a turning point in the history of the Eastern Roman Empire. The defeat at Adrianople was more than just a military setback. It was a blow to the empire's prestige and a signal to its enemies that Byzantium was vulnerable. The battle also triggered a shift in military strategy. The Byzantines' heavy reliance on infantry was challenged, and the importance of cavalry was underscored, leading to significant changes in the way battles were fought. The echo of clashing swords at Adrianople signaled the beginning of the end for Byzantium. Yes, the empire would survive for another 1,000 years, but its decline had begun. The Battle of Adrianople was a stark reminder that even the mightiest of empires can crumble, that technological superiority does not always guarantee victory, and that often it is the underdog, the seemingly weaker adversary, who can deliver the most devastating of blows. In the heart of the Middle Ages, the Siege of Orleans marked a turning point in the 100 Years' War. A brutal conflict that spanned over a century, the 100 Years' War was more than just a series of battles. It was a seismic clash of dynasties, a tug-of-war for dominance between the kingdoms of England and France. Amidst this chaos, a figure of hope emerged, a young peasant woman named Joan of Arc. Born in obscurity, Joan rose to prominence through a blend of unwavering faith and strategic acumen. She claimed divine guidance, but it was her brilliance on the battlefield that truly set her apart. In the Siege of Orleans, Joan displayed an uncanny understanding of warfare, turning the tide in France's favour. The English had relied heavily on their longbows, a technological advantage that had brought them many victories. But Joan, undeterred by the deadly rain of arrows, rallied the French forces with her fierce determination and clever tactics. She understood that resilience and courage could overcome even the most formidable weapons. The Siege of Orleans was a pivotal moment in the 100 Years' War. Joan's victory not only lifted the siege, but also reinvigorated the beleaguered French troops. The tide had turned. From here, French forces began to reclaim territories, gradually shifting the balance of power. Joan's triumph, however, extended beyond the battlefield. She became a symbol of French resistance, a beacon of hope in a time of despair. Her story resonated across generations, transcending the confines of the 100 Years' War to become a timeless tale of courage and determination. But Joan's impact was not confined to the realm of folklore. Her victory at Orleans had significant geopolitical implications. The reinvigorated French forces eventually drove the English back, cementing France's dominance on the continent. This shift in power dynamics laid the groundwork for France's future as a leading European power. Joan's triumph at Orleans not only turned the tide of war, but also etched an indelible mark on history. The Zulu kingdom's defiance against British imperialism culminated in the Battle of Isandlwana. This marked an unexpected twist in the tale of colonial expansion, a narrative often dominated by the advanced weaponry and strategic prowess of European powers. In the late 19th century, Britain was at the height of its imperial might. The British Empire had spread its tendrils across the globe with a particular focus on Africa. The Zulu kingdom, however, stood firm against this encroaching force, refusing to bow to the yoke of imperialism. The Battle of Isandlwana was a pivotal moment in this struggle. The British forces, confident of their superior firepower, marched onto the battlefield. Armed with the Martini Henry rifle, a weapon that could fire 10 rounds per minute, the British were certain of their inevitable victory. Yet they underestimated the audacious tactics of the Zulu warriors, who relied on their intimate knowledge of the terrain and their formidable close combat skills. The Zulu utilized a military formation known as the Horns of the Buffalo, where the warriors would encircle their enemies, cutting off any chance of escape. This strategy, combined with their indomitable courage, led to a shocking defeat for the British forces. The Battle of Isandlwana was one of the worst defeats in the history of British colonial warfare. This unexpected loss sent ripples through the colonial world. The British Empire was forced to reassess its strategies and policies. The Zulu victory at Isandlwana, while not enough to halt the tide of colonialism, did, however, force a change in British imperial policy. The British began to approach colonial conquest with more caution, recognizing the strength and resilience of indigenous peoples. The Battle of Isandlwana thus stands as a stark reminder of the power of resistance. It was not just a military victory, but a moral one as well. It is a story of the underdog, of a people refusing to be subjugated, of a nation standing firm against the tide of imperialism. Isandlwana stands as a testament to the courage of those who resist domination. It reminds us that in the annals of history, the echoes of colonialism are often met with the resilient cries of resistance. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu marked a decisive moment in the First Indochina War. A clash that reverberated far beyond the borders of Vietnam, it was a testament to the power of strategy and determination in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The French colonial rule in Indochina, an era marked by exploitation and cultural dominance, set the stage for a conflict that would shake the world. The Vietnamese, under the leadership of Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Minh, sought to reclaim their homeland and free themselves from the shackles of colonialism. This desire for freedom ignited the First Indochina War, a struggle that would culminate in the historic Battle of Dien Bien Phu. In the valley of Dien Bien Phu, the French set up a fortified camp, confident in their technological superiority. They had state-of-the-art weapons, a well-trained army, and the benefit of aerial support. On the other side, the Viet Minh, a force made up of peasants and workers, armed with a mix of outdated weapons and an unwavering resolve. The French expected a swift victory, but the Viet Minh had a different plan. Using innovative guerrilla warfare and siege tactics, they turned the tide of the battle. The French found themselves surrounded and cut off from their supply lines, the Viet Minh's resolve proving more powerful than their advanced weaponry. After 55 days of intense fighting, the French surrendered. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu was over, and with it, the illusion of French invincibility. This event sent shockwaves throughout the world, causing geopolitical shifts that would define the Cold War. It signaled the end of French colonial rule in Indochina and set the stage for the division of Vietnam, a development that would further fuel the fires of conflict in the region. In the vortex of Indochina, the French learned that technological superiority is not always the key to victory. Rather, it was the resilience and strategic brilliance of the Viet Minh that prevailed, demonstrating once again that the human spirit is a formidable force in the theatre of war. The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan was a vortex from which the Soviet Union never fully emerged. In the twilight years of the 1970s, Cold War tensions simmered as the Soviet Union sought to expand its sphere of influence into Afghanistan. A complex game of power dynamics and political intrigue had begun. The Soviets, equipped with superior technology and a well-structured army, hoped for a swift victory. Yet they underestimated the resolve of the Mujahideen, the local Afghan resistance. These brave warriors, though technologically disadvantaged, proved that strategy and knowledge of the local terrain can often outmatch even the most advanced military machinery. The Mujahideen fought with a tenacity fueled by their desire for sovereignty. They employed guerrilla tactics, using the rugged, mountainous terrain of Afghanistan to their advantage. This unconventional warfare left the Soviet forces scrambling, their advanced weaponry and strategic planning often rendered ineffective in the face of such unpredictable resistance. External powers too played their part in this conflict, providing the Mujahideen with resources and support. The United States in particular saw an opportunity to hamstring their Cold War adversary and funneled arms and funding to the Afghan resistance. As the war dragged on, the Soviet Union found itself in a dire situation. The conflict had become a drain on resources, and the toll on Soviet soldiers and Afghan civilians alike was devastating. After a decade of grueling warfare, the Soviet Union, unable to sustain the costly endeavour, began its withdrawal in 1988. The void left by the Soviet withdrawal, however, did not lead to peace. Instead, it paved the way for the rise of the Taliban, a militant group that would plunge Afghanistan into a new era of tumult and strife. The Soviet Quagmire in Afghanistan was a stark reminder of the perils of overreaching ambition. The echoes of this conflict reverberate even today, a testament to the complex interplay of power, resistance, and the indomitable will of people defending their homeland. It is a chapter that holds enduring lessons for empires, reminding us that technological superiority alone can never guarantee victory. The next war in Afghanistan, a conflict that spanned 2 decades, saw the return of the Taliban despite a formidable international coalition. Following the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the United States, backed by an international alliance, launched a military campaign aimed at dismantling al-Qaeda and ousting the Taliban regime. The coalition brought with them superior technology and military prowess, yet the Taliban, with their guerrilla tactics, proved a resilient adversary. As years turned into a decade and then 2, the war evolved into a complex quagmire of insurgency, political instability, and nation-building challenges. Despite efforts to establish a democratic government and rebuild the war-torn nation, the Taliban managed to regain control, making a dramatic comeback in 2021. Afghanistan's endless war underscores the complexities of nation-building in the face of persistent insurgency. As we traverse through the corridors of time, patterns begin to emerge in the downfall of empires. From the opulent halls of Roman power to the rugged landscapes of Afghanistan, history is strewn with the remnants of once great civilizations, their grandeur reduced to echoes in the annals of time. Yet their stories of ascension and downfall are not mere tales of antiquity. They unravel patterns that repeat themselves, like the motifs in a grand historical tapestry. Consider the might of Rome, the splendor of Byzantium, the resilience of Joan of Arc's France, the defiance of the Zulu kingdom, the struggle in Indochina, and the turmoil of Afghanistan. While distinct in their narratives, these historical episodes share common threads. They underscore the fallacy of technological superiority, the power of adaptability, and the pivotal role of strategy. Technology, though a potent force, has often been found wanting in the face of cunning tactics and guile. Hannibal's brilliant maneuvering at Cannae, the Zulus' tactical genius at Isandlwana, and the Viet Minh's siege strategies at Dien Bien Phu all bear testament to this. They remind us that the mightiest of armaments can be undermined by the human spirit and the power of strategy. Yet adaptability too plays a key role. It is the ability to respond, to improvise, and to innovate in the face of adversity. Joan of Arc's triumph at Orléans, the Visigothic cavalry charges at Adrianople, and the Mujahideen's guerrilla tactics in Afghanistan all embody this. They stand as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of adaptability. But in the end, these episodes underscore the complexity of historical events. They remind us that the rise and fall of civilizations is a complex interplay of factors: geopolitical, economic, social, and cultural. Each episode, each conflict, each triumph, and each downfall is a nuanced dance of these elements on the stage of history. In closing the downfall of empires, a recurring theme in history continues to intrigue and mystify us. As we unveil the patterns, we come to realize the importance of understanding the intricate interplay of factors in the rise and fall of civilizations. The human spirit is possibly the one factor that may continue to alter history.